Listen closely, because God is speaking to you right now. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when the world says you're ready, but right now, God is calling you to rise, to reclaim, and to step boldly into the life He has designed for you. Too long you've allowed fear, doubt, and delay to dictate your story. Too long you've wondered if the blessings, the favor, and the destiny God promised would ever arrive. Let me remind you, they are yours. Every seed of greatness planted in your life, every promise spoken over you, every dream God placed in your heart, they were never lost. They were waiting for you to believe, to act, and to take them back.
The journey ahead is not about luck. It's not about waiting for the perfect timing according to the world. It's about stepping into the authority God has already given you, walking in confidence rooted in faith, and embracing the abundance He has prepared. Your setbacks were not denials. They were preparation. Your trials were not punishments. They were positioning. And today, everything is aligning for you to claim what is rightfully yours. God is ready to move on your behalf, but He is calling you to move first, boldly, faithfully, and with purpose. It all begins with understanding your authority, taking back what belongs to you, and refusing to let delays define your destiny. Everything starts there. Everything else builds from that foundation, and this is where your greatness begins. You must understand that God has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. Every promise, every blessing, every seed of greatness planted in your life is still yours. Nothing and no one can take it from you unless you give it away through doubt, fear, or hesitation. The moment you stop believing in your authority, you create a vacuum that the enemy is happy to fill. But God never intended for you to remain small or silent. He called you to stand tall, to step forward boldly, and to operate in the authority He has given you. When you realize that your authority is not earned by effort alone, but is a gift of God's divine design, it changes everything. You don't have to fight to prove yourself. You fight to claim what has already been divinely assigned to you. You don't have to apologize for your vision or shrink to make others comfortable. Your authority comes from your alignment with God's will, and when you walk in it, the heavens move on your behalf. This authority is not just about leadership or influence. It's about stewardship over the life God has entrusted to you. It's about taking back your confidence, your peace, your joy, your finances, your relationships, your health, and your dreams. You must claim your territory because the world and the enemy are constantly attempting to redefine what belongs to you. Every time you step into faith and speak life over your circumstances, you are declaring that God's plan for you is bigger than any setback, bigger than any person, and bigger than any challenge. This is the moment to say, no more fear, no more doubt, no more waiting for permission. I am taking back what is mine in Christ. Your authority is your power to influence your destiny, and it is unstoppable when rooted in faith. You also need to understand that delays in life are not denials. They are not punishments or signs that God has forgotten you. Delays are God's way of perfecting your preparation. While the world sees setbacks, God sees positioning. He sees the seasons in which He is shaping you, equipping you, teaching you, and aligning resources in your favor so that when the doors open, you walk through fully ready to dominate your assignment. Every moment of waiting is a divine classroom where patience, endurance, wisdom, and faith are being cultivated in you. You cannot rush God's timing, and attempting to force your way only brings frustration. But when you trust Him fully, when you surrender your schedule to His, and when you embrace His timing, every delay becomes a step closer to your destiny. Understand that the world may try to convince you that you are late, that someone else has already claimed your place, or that opportunities have passed you by. This is a lie. God is never late, and His plans cannot be thwarted. What looks like a missed opportunity is often the very thing that is redirecting you towards something greater than you could have imagined. Your faith in God's timing allows you to remain calm, confident, and persistent.
Even when circumstances seem stacked against you, it allows you to focus on preparation rather than panic, on growth rather than grief, and on strategy rather than stress. Every trial, every obstacle, and every moment of waiting is designed to strengthen your faith muscle and expand your capacity to handle the blessings that are coming. Refuse to let delay define you. Stop letting fear, doubt, or comparison convince you that your moment has passed. Those voices are not from God. They are distractions designed to steal your focus, your joy, and your destiny. You have a calling that is too big to be dictated by circumstance. You have been equipped with spiritual weapons, divine wisdom, and supernatural favor to overcome every delay and claim every promise. Every day you remain faithful, every prayer you offer, every seed you sow is positioning you for a breakthrough that will make all the waiting worthwhile. Trust that God is orchestrating every detail, even the ones you cannot see. Trust that your authority cannot be undermined by temporary setbacks. And trust that the blessings waiting for you are beyond anything you have imagined, because God specializes in exceeding human expectation. When you claim your authority and refuse to be defined by delay, you are stepping into a life of power and influence. You are stepping into a life where your faith moves mountains, where your prayers break chains, and where your obedience activates supernatural provision. You are stepping into a life where setbacks no longer have dominion over you, where your vision is not determined by circumstance, and where every moment of struggle is transformed into a testimony of God's faithfulness. Authority is not something to be begged for, it is something to be embraced. And delay is not something to be endured with resignation. It is something to be leveraged with faith. You must see every obstacle, every delay, and every challenge as a divine signal that something greater is being prepared for you. Nothing in your life is wasted. Nothing in your struggle is meaningless. God is always working behind the scenes, aligning resources, connecting you with the right people, and positioning you for the exact breakthrough you need at the exact moment you need it. Your authority allows you to move in alignment with God's plan, not in reaction to fear or frustration. Your authority allows you to take action even when circumstances appear impossible, because faith in God makes the impossible inevitable. So stand firm, stand tall, stand unwavering in your belief that God's authority within you is unstoppable and that His timing for your life is perfect. Let go of doubt, fear, and hesitation. Refuse to let delay dictate your destiny. Take back the promises, take back your confidence, take back your power, and take back every blessing that has been waiting for you. Align with God's purpose, move in His timing, and trust Him completely, knowing that your moment to step into greatness is now being prepared, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Your confidence is not something that comes from people noticing you or applauding your efforts. True confidence is rooted in God. It is a divine understanding that no matter what is happening around you, no matter the opposition, no matter the setbacks, you are deeply loved, chosen, and equipped by the Creator of the universe. When you grasp this, your confidence becomes unshakable because it is no longer dependent on circumstances or validation from others. You realize that every skill you possess, every opportunity that comes your way, and every success you achieve is a manifestation of God's grace in your life. You are not a product of luck or timing. You are a product of divine design, crafted for a purpose that only you can fulfill. When confidence comes from God, it empowers you to walk boldly into rooms where others hesitate, to speak when the world is silent, and to act decisively when doubt threatens to paralyze you. Confidence is more than self-assurance. It is a spiritual posture that declares, I am aligned with God's will, and nothing can deter the plan He has for me. When you stand in that confidence, you are not arrogant and you are not careless. You are aware of your power because it is anchored in faith. This is the type of confidence that allows you to face challenges with courage, knowing that God is already in the battle. It's the confidence that does not shrink when opposition arises, because you understand that opposition is merely the enemy trying to test, distract, or delay you. Confidence in God's promises gives you clarity to see beyond temporary circumstances to the eternal outcomes He is orchestrating. Every doubt that whispers in your ear, every fear that tries to paralyze your steps, loses its power when you recognize that God has not only called you, but has already equipped you to succeed. Faith and confidence work hand in hand. When you trust God fully, your confidence becomes unstoppable. Your trust tells you that what looks like a closed door is actually a hidden opportunity, what seems like failure is a divine lesson, and what appears like a setback is actually positioning. Confidence is not just believing you can, it is believing God can through you and for you. This is where the magic happens. This is where the supernatural begins to intersect with your natural efforts. When your confidence is rooted in faith, you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start declaring, "I will fulfill my assignment because God is with me." Every step you take from this place of faith-driven confidence is infused with divine favor, making the impossible possible and turning obstacles into testimonies. You also must understand the power of divine timing. There is a perfect alignment in God's plan for your life that is beyond human comprehension. What appears to be a delay or a setback is often God moving pieces into place for a greater outcome than you could have imagined. The things that were meant to harm you, to slow you down, or to discourage you, God is using to build your character, strengthen your spirit, and prepare you for a harvest that exceeds your expectations. His timing is flawless. It cannot be rushed, and it cannot be obstructed. Every delay is intentional. Every waiting period is purposeful. God is not absent in the delay. He is actively working on your behalf, arranging resources, connecting you with the right people, and opening doors that will propel you into your destiny. When you learn to trust God's timing, you no longer panic when things do not happen according to your schedule. You understand that there is a divine calendar at work and that every season in your life has a purpose. You begin to see that patience is not passive, it is active faith. Waiting becomes a period of preparation, and preparation is the foundation for your breakthrough. The delays that once frustrated you now become your training ground. Every moment of waiting allows God to perfect your skills, refine your character, and expand your capacity to handle the blessings He is preparing for you. You learn to walk in peace even when circumstances seem chaotic, because your eyes are fixed on the one who orchestrates all things. Faith-driven confidence and divine timing go hand in hand. When you stand in your God-given confidence and trust His perfect timing, you step into a supernatural rhythm where obstacles lose their power, fear has no authority, and the promises of God begin to manifest in ways that amaze even you. What was once delayed becomes a victory. What was once hidden becomes revealed. What was once feared becomes your testimony. Every opportunity that arrives in its perfect timing is multiplied by God's favor. Every action you take in faith produces fruit beyond measure because it is aligned with the eternal plan, not the temporary distractions of this world. Your confidence must not be based on what you can see or control. It must be anchored in what God says is true. Your timing must not be dictated by impatience or pressure. It must be guided by divine wisdom. When you combine unwavering confidence in God's promises with complete trust in His timing, you position yourself for a life that cannot be shaken, a life of abundance that cannot be stolen, and a legacy that cannot be erased. You begin to live in the fullness of God's design for you, experiencing breakthroughs, open doors, and supernatural favor that make others wonder how you do it. This is the life that faith produces. This is the confidence that comes from knowing that you are aligned with God and that His timing is perfect no matter what the world tells you. Abundance is not a concept reserved for a select few. It is not a reward for the lucky, the educated, or the well-connected. Abundance is a divine inheritance for anyone who aligns their life with God's principles and moves in obedience to His guidance. Too often, people limit themselves by believing that abundance is scarce or that it must be earned through endless struggle and striving. But God's economy is not like the world's. In God's economy, there is more than enough, and there is enough for you. Every resource, every opportunity, every blessing that God has promised is yours to access when you step into faith, discipline, and action. Understanding this truth is revolutionary. It changes the way you approach your life, your work, your relationships, and your dreams. When you act from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, your energy shifts. You stop competing with others. You stop doubting your worth. You stop questioning whether God's provision is enough. You recognize that what God has for you is already more than enough, and it is waiting for you to claim it. Abundance begins with belief. It begins with faith that God's promises are real, that His timing is perfect, and that His plan for your life is unstoppable. But faith without action is incomplete. You cannot simply wait for blessings to fall into your lap. You must position yourself to receive them. You must sow seeds, serve faithfully, and use the talents God has given you to create avenues through which His abundance can flow. The key is to act with confidence that God will multiply your efforts, to step boldly into opportunities even when fear whispers that it is too risky, and to remain steadfast when the results are not immediate. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, is a deposit into the abundance God has prepared for you. The moment you align your effort with His will, you activate supernatural multiplication, and what you thought was limited becomes limitless. Action must always be coupled with purpose. Move not just for the sake of movement, but move in alignment with God's calling on your life. Your steps must be deliberate, intentional, and prayerfully guided. It is not enough to work hard. You must work smart, spiritually aligned, and faith-driven. Many people exhaust themselves chasing the wrong goals or following the wrong opportunities. God's guidance is a shield against wasted effort. When you consult Him, when you listen for His direction, and when you step according to His plan, every action you take produces fruit that endures. This is how you walk in abundance without stress, without fear, and without compromise. You do not need to manipulate, pressure, or force circumstances. God moves on your behalf, and your responsibility is simply to obey, step forward, and claim what is already yours. Purpose-driven action is the engine that converts potential into reality. Every talent, skill, and resource you have is a tool for fulfilling the unique assignment God placed on your life. When you understand that your work, your effort, and your vision are not just for personal gain, but for the expansion of God's kingdom, your entire perspective shifts. You begin to see challenges as opportunities, delays as divine redirection, and opposition as proof that you are on the right path. Purpose gives meaning to every step, focus to every effort, and clarity to every decision. Without purpose, action is scattered and results are inconsistent. With purpose, action becomes unstoppable, and every effort aligns with the abundant life God designed for you. Faith-driven action requires courage. It requires boldness to step out when the outcome is unseen, to invest when the return is uncertain, and to speak life over your circumstances when the world speaks doubt. Many people miss God's blessings because they are unwilling to risk discomfort or endure temporary uncertainty. But God calls you to rise above fear, to operate in confidence, and to act with the knowledge that His favor surrounds you. Every step you take in faith is not just a movement toward a goal. It is a declaration that God is your source, that He is sufficient, and that His provision is unlimited. The actions you take today, grounded in faith, are planting seeds for the miracles of tomorrow. Stepping boldly into your purpose also requires discipline. Discipline is not restriction, it is the structure that allows abundance to manifest. It is the commitment to daily growth, consistent effort, and prayerful decision-making. Discipline aligns your habits with your destiny, ensuring that every moment, every resource, and every action works in concert with God's plan. Abundance flows to those who are ready to receive it, and readiness is cultivated through disciplined alignment with God's word, prayer, and strategy. When you refuse to cut corners, avoid shortcuts, or chase temporary pleasure, you position yourself for lasting abundance that glorifies God. Finally, abundance and purpose-driven action are inseparable from generosity. God's blessings are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to be multiplied through service and giving. As you act in faith, pursue purpose, and step boldly, you create a cycle of blessing that touches others while expanding your own harvest. Generosity demonstrates trust in God's provision, reflects His character, and activates supernatural increase. The more you give from a heart aligned with Him, the more He returns to you, sometimes in ways you could never have imagined. Every act of faith, every deliberate step, and every commitment to God's purpose compounds into a life of abundance that is unstoppable, transformative, and eternal. Now hear this. Your life is a reflection of God's power, His wisdom, and His provision. Every promise, every blessing, every opportunity, and every victory is designed to manifest when you operate in faith, act with purpose, and embrace the abundance God has placed within your reach. You are not small. You are not behind. You are not powerless. You are called, chosen, and positioned to rise above every obstacle, to transform trials into triumphs, and to live a life that others will marvel at. The confidence, authority, divine timing, and abundance we've spoken about are not theoretical. They are practical, they are actionable, and they are yours when you step boldly into God's plan. Faith without action accomplishes nothing. Confidence without purpose achieves nothing. Abundance without discipline fades. But when you combine God's authority with unwavering faith, bold action, divine timing, and a purpose-driven heart, you unlock a life that is unstoppable, unshakable, and eternal. This is the life God intended for you. This is the legacy you were created to build. You were designed not just to survive, but to dominate with humility, serve with impact, and live with abundance. So step forward now. Take what belongs to you. Walk boldly into your destiny. Let every decision, every move, and every word reflect the power of God working through you. The world may question you. The enemy may challenge you. Circumstances may oppose you, but your faith, your obedience, and your alignment with God's will are your unshakable foundation. And as you do, remember this moment. Remember the truth you've embraced today. Remember the authority you have claimed, the confidence you are walking in, the divine timing you trust, and the abundance you are accessing. And for more teachings, more faith-driven strategies, and more life-transforming guidance, join us on Myron Golden's History, where we equip, empower, and inspire you to step fully into the greatness God has destined for you. Your breakthrough is here. Your destiny is calling. Step into it boldly, in faith and in alignment with His plan.